There once was a little seed buried deep in the soil. And all around the seeds were roots, dry, strangly, crackly roots that kept the seed from sprouting. Every day and every night the seed would cry because it wanted so badly to grow. Every day it would weep bitterly for want of sprouting, cursing the dry, strangly, crackly roots all around it for keeping it imprisoned so, wishing that only they would go away and leave it free, and every night it would sigh itself to sleep from exhaustion. This went on for years, for this was a special seed in special soil, so that even though the dry, strangly, crackly roots kept the seed from sprouting, it continued to remain just as it was. Then one day, a little mouse heard the seeds cry and weeping at its want to grow. And the little mouse called out to the little seed, "Hello, little one down in the soil, I hear your cry." And this was a special mouse that had the special task of finding little seeds and helping them. The little seed was so relieved that someone heard its cry that for a moment it forgot its years of sorrow and grieving. And it came to pass that the little mouse stayed near the little seed, and it would shed tears out of love and sorrow for the little seed. And little by little, the soil began to moisten. And the most remarkable thing happened. Not only did the little seed begin to sprout and transform, but so too did the dry, strangly, crackly roots begin to soften and flourish from the nourishing, loving tears of the little mouse. As the little seed unfurled, growing bigger and bigger, so too did the roots surrounding it send shoots deeper into the soil. One day, a great wind blew and a great rain fell. And by this time, the little seed had grown into a tender, young sprout that was eagerly reaching its little self up through and beyond the soil. The great wind blew and blew, and the great rain fell and fell. And the little seed, grown into a tender young sprout, shivered for cold and fear, for it was certain that this great rain would wash away the soil, and that the great wind would blow its little self away. Not only did the great rain not wash away the soil, and the great wind did not blow its little self away, in fact, the great wind at last stopped blowing, and the great rain at last stopped falling. And once more, the sun came out and shone upon the little seed grown into a tender young sprout, as it did for many days, and months, and years, and sometimes a great wind would blow, and a great rain would fall. And always the great wind and the great rain would at last stop, and the sun would return to its watch over the little seed, grown into a tender young sprout, as it continued to grow taller and taller, eventually dropping its own seeds into the soil. And it would tell its little seeds the story of the little mouse that saved it from its long imprisonment. Friends, now I will share with you the magic of which the little seed did not know. For it was not the little mouse that saved the little seed, nor even the tears that the little mouse shed. Rather, it was the love that urged the little mouse to hear the cry of the little seed. The love that urged the little mouse to call out to it and shed tears that contained love. For it was from the love and the tears that the soil moistened, and the once dry, strangly, crackly roots softened. It was the love that softened and freed all. And when the great wind blew and the great rain fell, it was because of the love which had softened and strengthened the dry, strangly, crackly roots that the great rain did not wash away the soil, and the great wind did not blow the once little seed away. What I will share with you, friends, that the little seed did not know it was not only its little seed self that needed love. So too did the dry, strangly, crackly roots. It was the love that softened and freed and transformed all. And to this day, the little mouse and other little creatures like it go around listening for the cry of little seeds trapped by dry, strangly, crackly roots. And these little creatures stop and call out to the little seeds, staying near to them, and shedding loving tears that slowly and surely soften, free, and transform all. I wanted to share this story with you in honor of my father, Gabriel San Juan Quintero. May his memory be for a blessing. And my mother, Carol Renee Wittenberg Quintero, and my grandfather, Walter Wittenberg, and for each and every one of us. May we all be blessed that the little seeds and the dry, strangly, crackly roots within us receive love from others as well as from ourselves. And that we too give love to the little seeds and the dry, strangly, crackly roots in others, softening, freeing, and transforming all of us.
Honeycomb,